If you search superpower nation on the internet, one name consistently appears at the top: the United States of America, a country that dominates the world stage. Here's something remarkable. Nearly a quarter of the world's total GDP comes from the United States. It's no wonder the US dollar controls global markets. But how did this happen? How did a relatively young country rise so quickly to the top? Today, we begin a three-part journey through America's rise to power. This is part 1, From Colonies to Empire. In 1507, a German cartographer named Martin Waldseemüller created a world map featuring the word America to describe the Western continent. The name was derived from Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian explorer and cartographer. The original inhabitants had migrated from Asia approximately 40,000 to 12,000 years ago. They had built sophisticated colonies, developed advanced agricultural techniques, designed magnificent architecture, and created civilized societies comparable to nation-states, most notably the pre-Columbian Mississippian culture. Tragically, after European explorers and traders made first contact with these native populations, millions died from diseases carried by European settlers, particularly smallpox. Spanish explorers landed in La Florida in 1513, establishing settlements in California and New Mexico. But it was British settlements starting in 1607 that became crucial in forming the United States. Beginning in 1607, numerous English ships arrived on the Virginia coast. They formed increasingly larger colonies, establishing settlements, gradually clearing forests, and claiming the land as their own. One by one, English colonies sprouted along the eastern seaboard from Massachusetts to Georgia. In every new colonial foothold, the same pattern repeated: exploitation of natural resources, seizure of land from indigenous peoples, and the enslavement of millions of Africans brought to the continent America's dark foundation. However, colonists living under British rule began showing signs of resistance. They felt constrained and burdened by heavy taxes without representation in the British Parliament. The spirit of resistance grew stronger, especially with great thinkers like John Locke and Thomas Paine supporting the cause. Revolutionary ideas spread through the colonies. On July 4, 1776, America's founding fathers finally proclaimed their independence by adopting the Declaration of Independence, drafted by Thomas Jefferson. After a long and exhausting civil war, a new nation was born from revolution, though it was far from a perfect birth. In world history, America's dark stains remain clearly visible in its early formation. The new U.S. embraced manifest destiny, a belief that God blessed America to control the entire continent. This doctrine was deeply embedded in 19th century America as a campaign to expand territory by displacing Native American tribes and seizing their resources. This campaign justified taking natural resources from Native American lands. The expansion was relentless and brutal. The expansion didn't stop there. Mexico had gained independence from Spain in 1810 and been granted vast territories. But American settlements grew rapidly in northern Mexico. American presence soon outnumbered Spanish speakers. This triggered rebellions by American settlers in northern Mexican territories, such as the Texas Revolution of 1835. The Texas Rebellion led to complete independence from Mexico. 10 years later, Texas, having become the Republic of Texas, voluntarily joined the United States. When President James K. Polk demanded clarification of borders with Mexico, California was also claimed by the U.S., sparking a war throughout the mid-19th century. The conflict culminated in the U.S. invasion of Mexico City. The war was won by the U.S., which successfully captured 1/3 of Mexican territory. Thanks to this war, U.S. sovereignty now stretched from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, a crucial step for America's future economic foundation. The Pacific coastal regions they controlled were dense international trade routes to Pacific nations and East Asia. This would prove crucial for America's rise. The Industrial Revolution in the 19th century gradually transformed this young nation, shifting American focus from agriculture to manufacturing goods. The Transcontinental Railroad united the nation. The United States even began producing its own firearms, which rivaled the German weapons industry. As the economy skyrocketed, new challenges emerged. In 1898, a Spanish-flagged ship sank the USS Maine in Cuba, triggering war between Spain and the U.S. The U.S. seized Spanish-controlled territories in Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines, followed by the subjugation of Hawaii and Samoa. America was becoming an empire. By 1898, America had transformed from 13 colonies into a continental empire, reaching across 2 oceans. But the greatest tests were yet to come. Join us in Part 2 as we explore how world wars would forge America into a true superpower.